On August 28, 1963, Martin Luther King Jr. marched to the Lincoln Memorial in Washington, D.C., and delivered a historic speech before a crowd of over 250,000 people. In that speech, King outlined his hopes for the future, a time when racism would end and African Americans would be treated by whites as equals. That speech turned out to be a decisive moment in the civil rights movement. Had Dr. King not made the speech, the United States might not have introduced a series of laws to grant a new rights to African Americans within just a few years. 50 years ago, a great American in whose symbolic shadow we stand today, signed the Emancipation Proclamation. This momentous decree came as a great beacon light of hope to millions of Negro slaves who had been seared in the flames of violent injustice. It came as a joyous daybreak to the end a long night of their captivity. But 100 years later, the Negro still is not free. 100 years later, the life of the Negro is still steadily crippled by the menaces of segregation and the chains of discrimination. 100 years later, the Negro lives on a lonely island is poverty in the midst of a vast ocean of material prosperity. 100 years later, the Negro is still languishing in the corners of American society and finds himself an exile in his own land. And also we've come here today to dramatize a shameful condition. When will you be satisfied? We can never be satisfied as long as the Negro is the victim of the unspeakable horrors of police brutality. We can never be satisfied as long as our bodies, heavy with the fatigue of travel, cannot gain loading in the motels of the highways and the hotels of the cities. We cannot be satisfied as long as the Negro's basic mobility is from a smaller ghetto to a larger one. We can never be satisfied as long as our children are stripped of their selfhood and robbed of their dignity by a sign stating, "For whites only." We cannot be satisfied as long as a Negro in Mississippi cannot vote and a Negro in New York believes he has nothing for which to vote. No, we are not satisfied, and we will not be satisfied until justice rolls down like waters and rises on us like Mrs. Green. I have a dream that one day, even the state of Mississippi, a state rattling with the health of injustice, rattling with the heat of opposition, will be transformed into an oasis of freedom and justice. I have a dream that my 4 little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin but by the content of their character. I have a dream today. I have dreamed that one day, down to Alabama, with its vicious racists, with its governor have his lips dripping with the words of interposition and nullification. One day, right there in Alabama, little black boys and black girls will be able to join hands with little white boys and white girls as sisters and brothers. I have a dream today. I have a dream that one day every valley shall be exhaled and every hill and mountain shall be made low. The rude places will be made plain, and the crooked places will be made straight, and the glory of the Lord shall be revealed, and all flesh shall see it together. This is our hope, and this is the faith that I will go to the south with. With this faith, we will be able to heal new of the mountain of despair a stone of hope. With this faith, we will be able to transform the gangling discord of our nation into a beautiful symphony of brotherhood. With this faith, we will be able to work together, to pray together, to struggle together, to go to jail together, to stand up for freedom together, knowing that we will be free one day. And when this happens, when we allow freedom to reign, when we let it ring from every village and every helmet, from every state and every city, we will be able to speed up that day when all of God's children, black men and white men, Jews and Gentiles, Protestants and Catholics, will be able to join hands and sing the word of the old Negro's scripture, free at last, free at last. Thank God, humility, we are free at last. Although Dr. King's dreams had yet to be fully realized, his speech and did lead to significant change. His eloquence appealed to human emotions, and his rhetorical skills awoke to the conscience of many Americans who had ignored or condemned racial operations. I have a dream was to civil rights supporters what a battle cry is to warrior. The speech continues to inspire people this day and will likely do as so long as encouragement exists.